guys, have you considered NordVPN, but for family guys?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Like us.
Yeah.
You know, protect your whole family with one NordVPN account, including your shared gadgets.
Meg and Stewie?
No, not that family guy.
And Peter?
The real life one.
Oh, and Brian?
That's right.
Talking dog.
Install NordVPN on your router to secure every device on your network with encryption. You can use the kill switch feature to stop data leaking when you lose your VPN connection, which is crazy. And then there's link up devices. You can link up devices for secure file sharing and LAN gaming. So if you're gaming like Steve is, let's say you're doing a stream and you're doing Red Dead Redemption.
Like I do all the time.
Yeah, you can link up all your devices for it. Browse with peace of mind with NordVPN. It does not track your online activities, which is great too. So listen.
Give me the offer.
You want the offer?
Give me the offer.
What?
Adam.
Just for me.
Right to the offer?
Come on.
Okay, well, fine. How about this? We give you go to nordvpn.com/dangle. Man, there's a lot of pressure, okay? And it's risk-free, and you get a 30-day money-back guarantee, and the link is in the description.
Read it.
It's exclusive. A lot of pressure here. Exclusive deal. Save big and get 4 months extra and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Just go to nordvpn.com/dangle.
Hold on. So when you sign up, you get 4 months extra.
For free.
For free. That's the deal.
That's the deal.
The moon will go around the earth 4 times. Wait, that's not how
Is that
it
how
works.
the month works? I don't think that's
No,
how
that's not how it works.
No. But you'll get you understand. You get what a third of the year looks like. It's free and it's with nordvpn.com/dangle. Sign up and let's start the show, baby.
SDP, the Steve Dangle Podcast, with your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
And we have an announcement to make. This is a big one. Ladies and gentlemen, have you heard about SDP VIP Ad Free? No, you haven't, because we haven't talked about it.
Is that the name of it?
Yeah, Jesse made that up. Because it's got to be a little...
Wow. Did I make it up, or did I just add an ad-free tier to the YouTube? And
that's
explain how the audio
That's
works.
what I would have called it.
So here's what's going to happen, okay? We're going to offer you, if you want it, the ability, and you've asked for it a lot. We've had a lot of
We're
comments.
going to offer you what's been demanded and asked for a long time, and understandably.
Every single episode of the Steve Dangle Podcast ad-free,
Yes.
including the VIP episode.
Moving forward.
Yes.
Not
back catalog. Starting
Well,
today.
what did I just listen to?
Make that the
going
second.
forward.
Yeah.
Starting today, and actually starting with this episode, right?
No.
Yeah, you could be
Oh, is
listening
it?
to this with no ads.
That's right.
Oh, well, there you go.
So you're going to sign up for SDP VIP ad free if you want to. There will be 2 tiers of this, and it will be $6.99. Okay, that will be the total cost for the entire month. It will be, and what's great about this is that if you're on the audio side of things, it's really weird because people have already asked us, they've asked us for years, like, why don't you just do a Patreon? Why don't you just do this? Well, first off, Patreon takes an enormous chunk of the money that you make. It's like 40% or in some cases. It was crazy.
That, yeah.
And also it's really been clunky, but only recently has YouTube, Apple, and Spotify all allowed you to do subscription. And the thing is, YouTube is far more advanced than Apple or Spotify are, and they offer tiers. So if you only want to be an SDP VIP and get the 1 extra episode for $3.99 a month, you can do that. There's a tiered section in a YouTube page. Unfortunately, Spotify and Apple, we talked to them. They were like, hey, we don't offer that.
Yes.
Yes.
They don't have the ability to do tiers. Yeah.
So audio subscribers will have access to ad-free episodes of the Steve Dangle Podcast immediately at the current price of $3.99, and then on June 1st, the price is going to switch to $5.99 a month. As we said, $6.99 a month. Apple and Spotify don't allow the tiers, as I mentioned. However, you will get a notification saying this price is going up, and you'll have the ability to opt out and that sort of thing.
It's not automatic.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And I think that's important that you know that.
Yeah, and if from now until June 1st, if you purchase a yearly subscription to SDP VIP, you'll get those ad-free episodes for the next year. Like
at that price.
You can lock in your SDP VIP price right now if you did a yearly subscription, but then if you want the monthly, it'll go up on June 1st. And you have the ability to cancel long before now and then.
This is us giving you the unique opportunity to rip us off.
Honestly.
Do it. Rip us off. I dare you.
Yeah, and if you are currently a VIP member on audio, you will just get them for the next 2 months. You can then just enjoy the ad-free episodes if you want to listen to those. Maybe you enjoy our wonderful ads.
I think our ads are great.
I think we do a pretty good job.
I think our ads are great.
Yeah.
Maddie with the thumbs up.
Thank you, Maddie. Thank you, Maddie. But you know what? If you are signing up for a subscription, obviously being ad free would be the selling point for you, right? You know, you get the whole show, you get it ad free. The way that it used to be when we didn't have any ads, except for Panago Pizza off the top, right?
No, wait a minute. What if I don't want to give you $6.99 a month and you can kiss my ass?
Then you can listen to the free version.
Then nothing changes at all in your entire life.
Nothing
The
changes.
way you woke up today is how you will wake up tomorrow in terms of your listening of the Steve Dangle podcast.
That's
how
right.
wonderful is that?
You've taken the Morpheus pill, the blue pill, which means that you go back and you're in your bed and none of this ever happened, right? From the main.
That would have been funny
that the blue
if that's how the movie went.
Yeah, isn't it? It doesn't he have a red pill and the blue pill, and then the blue pill is the one that.
The rest of the movie is just Keanu Reeves going to like a bagel
Living
shop.
his life.
Yeah. And like,
And staying up too
like
late.
going to an office job.
That'd be a good like 2-minute SNL skit.
Yeah.
Oh, do they have the bacon cheddar cream cheese today? Oh,
What if he took
Very
the
nice.
other pill?
So again, it's $6.99 for the whole shebang. And obviously, this not only is the selling point is no ads. The other thing is it's a huge help to our small business, and we really appreciate it. So
Yeah.
and also you get the cool little emojis too next to your name, and the VIP comment section especially for the VIP episode, the 4th episode we do every week, is just bananas. People are in there like it's a party. It's so much fun to go through and read that all, and that's a comment section you can actually read and not be afraid of.
and there's a lot of people who are going to get the VIP episode essentially for free for the next month.
Yeah.
Because CJ gifted 50 subs. Julian did, I think, 20. I did a bunch.
Oh, that's great.
So yeah,
CJ
that's how
went
you run a
off.
business: is you give everything away for free.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, CJ, it was like crazy that he did that on Saturday.
Oh, it was awesome.
I got this message actually, and I wanted to share it with you because I think there are a lot of new listeners to this show who haven't been with us for a really long time. And the way we used to do it was we would do hockey in like the first hour, and then it would be
Pokemon.
whatever in the second hour. Yeah, 100%. And Dean Johnson, he said, he reached out on LinkedIn, and he's like, I know this is probably outrageous to send via LinkedIn, but I just wanted to share with you how much I'm loving the VIP episodes. I've been a fan since the pod started, and I didn't realize how much I missed the non-hockey content. And I love to be able to directly support the pod on a monthly basis. So sorry if this is a weird place to send this, but thanks for all the laughs. So thank you, Dean. And
Also, you're being reprimanded for sending that on LinkedIn.
that's right.
It's unprofessional.
I think that was nice.
No,
I think
it was
that's
extremely
LinkedInable.
nice.
Anyway, so $6.99, and that gets you the whole thing, all the SDP episodes, completely ad free, starting today, right now.
But what if I don't want it? Sorry.
Then you don't have to. It's great. Now, listen, there's a lot of things that we could start with today, but I think we need to start with John Tortorella because Steve had a real spicy take about John Tortorella last episode. Steve, do you want to run us through what the crux of your argument? Obviously, Felix Sandstrom had gone into the net. It hadn't gone well. And, you were not thrilled with the way he handled his press conference. I wasn't either, to be honest.
No, I think you're adorable, Adam, for saying, the crux of your argument. No, I called him an asshole.
Right.
Because that's what he was being. John Tortorella was being an asshole. And that doesn't mean he necessarily always is an asshole. And the one thing I regret saying is he's an asshole. I shouldn't have said he's an asshole.
He was being an
He was being an asshole, though. So I don't regret that. He was certainly being an asshole.
Yeah.
But basically, he was asked about Felix Sandstrom, who he shouldn't be in the net. He shouldn't be in the net.
No. And I have the press conference for you if you want to run it.
It's
This
not
is
his fault.
This is the
You
first
just
press.
sent me the quote.
Oh, okay. If you click on the quote tweet,
No, that's the original.
that's what I wanted to play.
Oh, you want the
Yeah, for
okay.
context, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
sure.
well, yeah, rather than have me explain it.
But I
here's-
think it's important that we talk about that.
Yeah, here it is.
No, okay.
Felix Sandstrom wasn't too happy with his performance. He just felt like he missed a couple there. Do you feel like he could have used some more subs?
Like, he doesn't say anything. He smacks his hands on the table twice, raises his eyebrows, and walks away. Like, you're being a child.
I have sent you the follow-up press
Okay.
conference.
So I didn't love that. And, like, the goalies for the Philadelphia Flyers are trying. Neither guy in net for them right now is supposed to be in this position. Sammy Erson is not supposed to be the starter.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what gets lost in all this? Like the Philadelphia Flyers, not only did they lose their starting goalie because he's under investigation right now, another guy who's supposed to probably be their backup goalie this year and last was essentially abducted by the Russian government.
Right. Yes.
Like neither.
Haven't seen him since he went off to the Black Sea Fleet or whatever it was.
He's in the KHL.
Oh, he is?
And he friggin' shouldn't be. He doesn't want to be there.
Right.
But what's he supposed to do?
Well,
He goes back to that friggin'...
the thing about Russia
He's essentially a prisoner.
is traditionally their governments don't like it when you leave.
Yeah, they had a problem with it. Anyway, Sammy Erson should not be the starting goalie.
Yep.
But I gave him his flowers a couple weeks ago. He's making the best of it. Felix Sandstrom's doing his best, man. Like, there's nothing in his track record that suggests he should even be in the NHL right now, unless everybody's injured or something completely unprecedented has happened to your goalie core.
So I had a look at things, and Jesse had a look at things, and we've come to a conclusion together.
Sure.
The conclusion is John Tortorella listens to the Steve Dangle podcast.
He must.
Jesse,
I mean, who doesn't?
Jesse, can you play the proof?
Okay. I've been waiting. You guys took a long time.
Hey, sometimes you got to set things up. Not everybody caught the last episode.
Let's go over again.
I think we need to do that.
Erson's a great guy.
So wait, John Tortorella, sorry, it's important to mention he's from Boston, Massachusetts.
Okay. And he likes dogs.
Won the 2004 Stanley Cup.
Here we go.
Here's John Tortorella's apology to Sandstrom.
I made a terrible mistake with you guys the other night when, I'm not sure, I think you might have asked me about Sandy. My body language was wrong. What I should have said to you was, I tried to communicate with you guys after. He's trying. Sandy's trying. We've been, things happened this year that put our goaltending situation into a little bit of a state of flux. Sandy did not deserve that from me. You had a perfect right to ask the question. He did not deserve that from me, and it was wrong. So how we go about it with him, we're just not getting too far ahead. We're just worried about this game here tonight. Urs gets the start.
So this is why I apologize for calling him an asshole versus being an asshole. Like that to me, yesterday I said he didn't have to apologize. And some people said, well, no, he did. No one ever has to apologize. And a lot of people don't.
Actually, the PR maxim is don't complain and don't explain.
Well, there you go.
That's a PR maxim.
Max for like what?
Well, like anything. Don't just move on. Don't explain why you did it. Don't complain, but don't explain. Like, don't complain about the reaction. Don't explain it. Move on.
That's a bad way to go about things.
That's how so many people handle it.
A lot of people subscribe to that. Like, a lot of people do that.
Yeah, a lot of bad people.
Yeah. Yes, Jesse, that's the point I'm trying to make.
Okay.
He's not a bad person. That's a guy who, he seemed genuinely remorseful. He apologized to Felix Sandstrom, who didn't deserve that. And he also said to the reporter, hey, like, you had the perfect right to ask that question.
Right.
So it wasn't a bad question. And the goalie didn't deserve that either.
Yes.
You know, Tortorella throws his hands up and pounds the podium and walks off. What are you supposed to assume?
Well, that he's frustrated and he doesn't want this goalie.
Yeah. Which there's probably a little bit of truth there. But
the whole world doesn't
he's
need to know that.
trying.
He's trying. And he's not an NHL goalie. And
You don't need to embarrass him.
right. Now, it's interesting because his goaltending help might be on the way right now. Dynamo Minsk announced that Alexei Kolosov is leaving the team to head to North America. He is a Flyers prospect.
You got to, at very least, see what you have with him in Lehigh Valley. And he like, that guy might play NHL games.
Well, if he goes and he has like 2 good games in Lehigh Valley, and I don't believe the Phantoms are a very good team this year anyway,
I'm not sure.
I think you're probably looking at that and going, okay, that's great. That's enough. Let's put him in, because here's what his numbers in the KHL the last couple of years have been pretty good. He's already played 47 games this year. He's got a .907 save percentage in the K, 239 goals against average on a team that's not that good.
Well, that's the key thing. Like, goalie stats with the KHL, it's difficult, right? They're usually inflated. So when you said 907, I'm like, oh boy.
Well, 907, and then in the playoffs he had a 925 save percentage.
Well, that's really good.
Yeah, they lost, but he had a 920. And he also has great hair.
Let me see.
Look at that hair.
Oh shit!
Like this is great here, Jesse. I'm going to send it to you. This
Yeah,
is really
no,
important that we cover this.
No, that is actually
It's
very
a fabulous. That's not salad. I would call that like angel hair pasta.
No, that's flow.
You know, like that's
flow.
it's a good flow this guy's got.
It's
and you know what? He's put up consistent numbers since he was drafted. 3rd round, 78th overall pick in 2021. And
Look at that!
like that's wow. Damn. That feels like AI. Doesn't that look at
It does look like AI, actually. He's gonna have that dude puts up a slightly above league average save percentage. He's gonna have a shampoo commercial in no time.
100%. Yeah. He's put up pretty good numbers in the KHL. 906 save percentage, 912, and then 907 this year, and then a 925 in the playoffs. Not bad.
Oh, and he's from Belarus.
Yeah.
Got to play for the only Belarusian KHL team.
Nice.
Yeah, like I mean, I wouldn't be shocked to see him in the NHL. You know, the Flyers are in a really tricky spot. Sandstrom shouldn't be playing games. He is. He's doing his damnedest. But if he shouldn't be playing games, you might as well try this guy.
Yep.
Give him a couple.
Yep.
And at least see what you have with him. So, you know, maybe some help is on the way for the Flyers.
And
There's a race right now for the second wildcard spot, and the Flyers are, it looks like, going to drop down into that spot and no longer be in the 3rd place in the Metro and drop down into the race for the wildcard spot because they've struggled mightily, and the only team that's playing well out of the bottom teams of the Eastern Conference playoff race is the Washington Capitals, and they got 2 games in hand and are only 1 point back of the Flyers. So if they just win a game here, they're going to leapfrog them, and then now the Flyers are going to be in a race between the Red Wings, the Devils, and the Islanders, and the Buffalo Sabres, who are kind of on the outside looking in right now for that last spot. And I worry about the Flyers just being able to hold fort. So,
yeah, it would be a shame at this point with 9 games for the Flyers to go for them to lose this.
For all 73 games that have been played right now, the Flyers have been in a playoff spot. And to lose it on the last 9 games of the season, it's going to be devastating because the expectations are you're not a playoff team. But if you're in the playoffs for 73 of the 82 games, you're a playoff team. And to just collapse at the end like this will be devastating.
Now, all the division leaders right now are extremely good teams. Dude, Tampa Bay Lightning 7-1-2 in their last 10. Capitals 7-3 in their last 10. Plus they've won 3 straight. And then the 2 Western wildcard teams are Nashville and frigging Vegas. What do you even play the regular season for? You know
well,
what I
in
mean?
your league, you don't.
In my league, we don't.
No, you play the shit out of it because it's all for seeding,
It's
Jesse.
just all for fun.
By the way, Sid60 wants into your pool next year.
This Xero can kiss my ass. You told me about that text, and he can frig off and frig your birthday.
We'll have a separate one with real rules.
Okay, I like that. Can we
Yeah.
finally do that?
I'm gonna beat you.
Maybe. I don't know.
Why is there the hesitancy to do one for SDP Head?
Because I have a good hockey.
I know. What if you could have
pool
2?
Right now. It's comfy. It's good.
He's
Very competitive.
I'm in like 3F1
it's real. It's real competitive, unlike Steve's.
Jesse's a lot like a firefighter
What's that?
because he doesn't want the smoke.
Oh. You know, it would be funny to see the 2 of you go head to head because Jesse is like he's like a student of fantasy.
Yeah, I love fantasy. Fantasy's the best.
So we have Steve, who's just vibes.
Love fantasy hockey.
And then Jesse, who's like student. We'll see what wins. Vibes versus student.
I had a pretty devastating loss in the playoffs in my fantasy hockey league.
Oh, so you're out?
Yeah, I had a big lead going into Sunday, and then I lost on the Sunday.
Steve, are you still
because
No.
Steve lost the first. Yours wasn't really close though. Apparently,
I lost by a point, and I would have won had Alexander Georgiev and the Avalanche not come back from a 4-0 lead to win in overtime. I'd literally still be in the playoffs right now, and I would have gotten to enjoy Jack Hughes scoring 2 goals last night, but I didn't even get that. Oh, and Broad had 3 assists.
so with the 8th spot in the Eastern Conference, like whoever gets in that spot, like they're gonna get it in there through like no power of their own.
No, of course not.
They're gonna just back in there because everybody else kind of lost around them.
Like, here's my thing. Carolina's 7-2-1 in their last 10. What are you trying so hard for? Take your foot off the gas. Let the Rangers are being idiots winning games. Just play Philly. What are you doing? Why are you trying to win the division for? So you can play Washington? Fuck that. Or Tampa?
Red
Or
Wings,
what are you doing?
Red Wings 3-6-1, Devils 5-5, Islanders 3-6-1, Buffalo 5-4-1, Philly 4-4-2. Nobody's trying to
Dude,
win.
if Carolina has any remaining games against Philly, they should literally start their
tank them?
ECHL affiliate. You want them to win. What are you doing?
Nah, that's not how sports works.
I know it's not, but what? No, in sports, what's the goal? To try to win. You have a real good shot against Philly, which means you should let them beat you.
I think Carolina goes into any series thinking they can win.
I also want to throw this out there is that it's difficult for the Carolina Hurricanes to do as you say because they don't even have an AHL affiliate.
Oh, right.
So to have an ECHL affiliate,
Well,
difficult. Now the Leafs may not have an ECHL affiliate for much longer.
that is a wild transition.
Kyle Cushman, friend of the show, also Manny and him are good friends. They're buddies. Budskis.
You went to school?
Yeah, we were both in sport media together.
At TMU.
TMU. Yeah.
TMU. You're so spoiled. There was one sports course when I went there. Back in my day when I tied a turnip to my belt.
The three of us are RTA kids,
We are.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
All RTA.
Yeah.
Sorry,
That's
Adam.
right. And then there's Adam. Who never worked in radio.
Situation developing in the ECHL, according to Kyle Cushman. Leafs and Habs affiliates may not finish this season, per Matthew Vachon. The ECHL will take over the Growlers and the Lions on April 2nd due to league debts from the owners' DSE. Owners will then decide whether to pay them to finish the year.
That sucks.
That does suck. And this is where I think the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment Group
Just buy the team.
just buy the team.
Now,
Just buy the team. How much is that team going to cost you?
okay.
Come on, buy the team.
Let me throw this out there.
No.
All right, fine.
Okay, no, go ahead.
No, if the Leafs were to buy the ECHL Growlers,
Yeah.
would they keep them in Newfoundland?
Yeah. I think you do that. And you know why you do that?
Why?
Because it's a great brand extension and there's a lot of history there with the St. John's Maple Leafs.
Yes.
From back in the day.
Yeah.
I think here's the thing about the East Coast and people forget this.
Fucking rules.
First off, it fucking rules. Who wouldn't want to go and play in Newfoundland where everybody like loves you? Also, the Growlers, great name, great brand. You can't use the Growlers, which is a Newfoundland or one of the Newfoundland Labrador dogs. It's not a Labrador
Giant
Retriever.
200-pound dogs.
Yeah, with the big beards on. You can't use that without being there. And I think the third and most important part is that the Leafs have to worry about their branding in that area because teams like Montreal and teams like Boston have great penetration in terms of fans there. Lots of Boston fans in the East Coast, especially because of Marchand and Sidney Crosby fans, whatever. If you're the Toronto Maple Leafs, that's a good market for you.
It is. I'm thinking about it from a logistical standpoint. There's a lot of back and forth between the Marlies and the Growlers, and you're flying those guys every time. And I just wonder from...
You can't put them around here.
I badly want them to stay in Newfoundland. I do. But if it's going to be an ECHL team that's not making you a ton of money, it might as well be an ECHL team that's not making you a ton of money close by.
Doesn't cost you much.
Like, I hope they stay in Newfoundland.
They can't put them in
legitimately do.
Toronto.
They can't put them in Toronto, but can you put them in... Not Belleville, because the Sens have a team there. Can you put them... I mean, geez, there's no shortage of towns in the GTA. Put them somewhere. Put them in the West End. Put them in the...
I don't think the GTA is the right market. I think you have to... I think one of the things is that... and again, obviously there's debt, so it's probably hard for them to make money. But one of the things you got to look at is what's the marketing asset value. So, for instance, I'll use Formula One. Red Bull Formula One costs Red Bull Global a fortune.
Yes.
Okay. They might be profitable now because there's a cost cap, but for the last 15, 20 years that they've been in the sport, it's cost them a fortune. Why are they in the sport though?
To sell Wonder Bread.
To sell energy drinks.
Yes.
And that's why they are so hyped on the team being good, is it sells more energy drinks worldwide. And I think if the Toronto Maple Leafs are smart, you go, I'm sure we can write the flights off. We're Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment.
Right, yes.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's not like they're like, how will we be profitable
I'm
this
just
year?
pointing it out.
I know, it sounds like you're Scrooge McDuck over here.
No, I want...
Why do you not want hockey in Newfoundland?
No, if I was Scrooge McDuck, I'd
You know
say,
what?
fly them wherever they want.
Jesse, should we
Move
call
the team
Terry Ryan?
farther away.
We should call Terry Ryan, see what he thinks
Yeah,
about
let's bring
that.
him back on the show.
Yeah.
We should.
And tell him what Steve's
Terry,
saying.
Steve doesn't like your team. What do you say?
How much does friggin' Shoresy pay? He should buy him.
Yeah, he probably should. Anyway, I hope Maple Leaf Sports jumps in there and gets it. I have no thought that they will, but I do hope that they will.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't have your ECHL affiliate not finish the season. I think that's a tad ridiculous.
Yes.
Especially for the Leafs.
Yeah, and there's a lot of money involved here. Obviously, like it'll take the vote happens on April 2nd. The owners are going to decide on whether if they want to cover the costs of keeping this team alive. And there is a buyer in place for the Quebec team, but there wasn't one for the Leafs team. And that deal with, I believe, Steven Leon, I believe his name was, when I was reading the article, he was in line to buy the team and cover the debts and all that stuff. But that sale didn't pass in time for the March 2nd deadline. And the reason they're in this situation, let's not let the bad guys go here. Deacon Sports and Entertainment, who owns both of those teams that are folding, they failed to pay rent in the team in Quebec. They weren't paying their rent there, and they got into debts up to $1 million a couple years ago. It seems like this organization isn't well run. They're gonna be folding very soon. A couple years ago, their senior management was also accused of harassment in leaked documents.
Jesus.
So it's
I didn't know any of that.
Yeah,
Maybe it'll be great for MLSE to be like, finally, these guys are gone.
Well,
right.
And we keep saying MLSE. The Habs also. Maybe both teams should. Especially
hold on. Does Jeff Molson have money?
a little bit.
Well, for them, it looks like they have a buyer, and
Okay.
that sale just hasn't been able to go through. So the league is going to have to cover those debts. But the Growlers, on the other hand, don't have a buyer in line. So MLSE, hey, step up.
Well, Steve's going to get in there and he's going to take them out of Newfoundland. And he's going to go, I don't care where I play, as long as it's not Newfoundland.
The big city slicker
Yeah.
going, give me your team.
Kiss this fish.
You know where Steve's going to put them? Steve, you're going to put them right in Ajax.
Yeah.
I get it. The Ajax Growlers.
And he's going to call them the Wildcats so they compete with the Whitby Wildcats.
Whoa. Don't go giving me ideas.
Steven, they're going to play on your front lawn.
Yeah.
Nobody can come to the games except me. It's my team.
It's his pool. No, they play on his pool in his backyard.
Yes. It's a golden pool.
There you go.
It's a golden lined pool.
Nobody can watch the games.
Full of coins.
Steve, I'm glad you're learning so much from me.
Yes.
Yeah. Listen, sometimes you got to mentor people on
Here,
how to
wait.
be a billionaire.
Let me twist my mustache.
There you go. Love that.
No, I hope they stay in Newfoundland. I really do.
This episode is brought to you in part by BetterHelp. Listen, it is that time. Steve, let me ask you, how's your sleep been?
It's not good.
What happens when your sleep's not good?
I feel sad.
Yeah, right?
I can laugh about it. I have tears in my eyes from yawning. But
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and sometimes the things that become overwhelming they feel like a mountain, but maybe they're a molehill, or maybe they are a mountain, and you just kind of have to figure out a way through it. And it's good to have an extra set of eyes, an extra set of ears in this particular case, to kind of go, okay,
Extra set of fingers.
Yeah, that too.
Toes, belly button.
the full body,
Armpits.
all the faculties.
Type with your nose.
That's right. And you can do any of that with BetterHelp. Basically, it's nice to have somebody else, like a therapist, to bounce things off of. The great thing with BetterHelp is you're going to be matched with somebody very quickly, right? It's much faster than it takes normally to get therapists. And of course, you can do this over text. You can do this over FaceTime. You can do it over the phone, whatever works for you. And if you want to learn more, go to BetterHelp.com/SDP to get 10% off your first month. That again is BetterHelp, HELP.com/SDP. Roll up to win!
That's what I'm doing right now.
Till March 31st. There's only a few days left. And when was the last time you had a great vacation?
Oh, man, I haven't been to San Diego in time.
No, I'm serious. When was the last time you had a great vacation?
A really good vacation. Probably pre-COVID.
So pre-kid.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. So here's the thing. Jesse, you had one last year, right?
Yeah, every year, my girlfriend and I usually go on some sort of trip in August.
Which is really nice.
Yeah.
That's
Sounds
great.
Yeah,
man.
it'd be nice if it was covered and like free.
Yeah.
Because I won $10,000 through the Roll Up to Win, but it's not for me right now.
And that's covered by Tim's Financial. So $10,000, you could do that with Tim's Financial and roll up to win. Also, of course, there's Hilton prize packs too. I hear they have a great hotel or two or several
No one's
thousand.
ever said that about them.
Yeah, exactly. They're known for great. And then, of
Is
course,
that what they're known for?
you can get a 2024 all-electric Volkswagen ID.4. You can earn your rolls on your Tim's faves, including hot or iced coffee, breakfast sandwiches, loaded bowls, and more. Make sure to play on the Tim's app. Available for download on the App Store or Google Play if you're still living in the Stone Age.
What?
Kidding, everyone.
Oh
You're
my
kidding.
goodness.
Tim's 60th anniversary
Android
edition
hater.
of Roll Up to Win is now on until March 31st. That's only a few days left. Time to get rolling. Rules apply. Canada only. No purchase necessary for contest entry. Visit the Tim's app for details. Now, boys, I know you made fun of me for talking about Matt Murray last episode,
I'm going to beat you up.
but he did practice.
He sure did.
Now, if he was to play, the Leafs would have to have a lot of goaltending injuries, and it would have to be late in the playoffs.
Yes.
But he is ramping up to be healthy.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is a good thing.
This is a great thing.
There's 11 games left.
Yeah.
Like, we've already gone through this.
No, we haven't. Because
This
now
is
he's practiced,
same-
and I'm just
same
telling you.
conversation we had on
I'm just
Monday.
telling you how cool I am. That's
No.
I just want you to know that.
If he goes on a conditioning stint on April 3rd, he could go the whole conditioning stint and then come back in time for the playoffs.
And then it's, hey, we got a free fourth goalie.
Yeah, and then
Whoopee, this is awesome.
maybe even fifth.
Sure. Yeah.
Why would you assume he's better than Dennis Hildeby? You know what I mean?
Because of NHL experience, you would
Yes.
say that.
Okay, but how about Hildeby over the last year has playing hockey games experience?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Like, I don't know. I have a hard time envisioning Matt Murray coming back and being good. Like, I feel like the road to recovery is a long one. But whatever. Like, we're arguing over fourth or fifth here.
And
like, who gives a shit?
If the Leafs are in a position to play Matt Murray, that means they got really deep into the playoffs, and also a lot of guys got injured.
Yeah.
So,
Or-
it's one good thing and one bad thing.
Or Samsonov hurt game one. Wool hurt later in game one. Martin Jones also hurt in game one. Now you have the decision between Matt Murray and Dennis Hildeby.
All right.
Yeah, it's just so many.
And
And
they,
what about Petrozelli?
well, because Matt Murray
Also hurt in
because they
game
had
one.
rock paper scissors, but they bumped their hands, and now they're hurt. So Petrozelli's
paper-
going in. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, so Matt Murray, I think the Dreger was saying he needs to go back to the doctor. Now that he's practiced, he needs to go back to the doctor, and they need to check on his hips and see if the hips are all good. And then after that, he'll be cleared again. And then so this is a long process, but it's good to see Matt Murray on the ice. Like, he's going to play NHL games next season.
Yeah, that's
cool.
awesome. And we weren't sure that he would.
Yeah, if somebody signs him, which I assume somebody will, because how they like influx the goalie position is, you need as many bodies as you can.
I agree.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him sign here. Something cheap.
Oh yeah, that'd be
Minor
great.
league.
Pittsburgh.
Oh,
Kyle.
that does make a lot of sense.
Kyle loves
though.
his guys.
Yeah, Kyle loves his guys. He returns to Pittsburgh.
You nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jesse.
Yeah.
Damn.
He's going back.
No one's competing with that. That's true.
Another cup run. Crosby and Murray.
According to our good
you
friend David Alter, Ilya Samsonov, Martin Jones, and Mitch Marner are stepping on the ice to do some. There's no real practice.
Wow, they're
today.
really digging deep at the goalie position.
Well, no,
they got Mitch taken.
I know it's crazy,
yeah.
isn't it? Yeah, no. So Mitch is actually skating and practicing, which is good. And it is not a practice day today because of the amount of hockey the team's played. It's more of like a individual skills if you want to sort of thing.
Sure.
Good to see Mitch back on skates though.
Yeah, he's been skating for a few days now. I think he's going to be fine.
He hasn't practiced with the team yet though.
Yeah, I don't
been-
like how
yeah,
coy
alone.
they're being with his injury.
He's got a high ankle sprain.
Well, like
Duh.
Sheldon Keefe saying a few days ago, he's day to day from being day to day.
He was that Sheldon Keefe trying to joke doesn't land. Like, I watched that one.
No, you're
I don't
right.
know if you guys saw those clips too, because they'd run him on SportsCenter or whatever, and like him doing little bits, it doesn't work. He's not like a jokey guy.
Like I feel like a lot of people go,
Are you gonna kill me?
"Is he serious?"
yeah,
I think he's serious.
That's the exact reaction I think the press has sitting there.
Yeah.
Like Paul Maurice, when Paul Maurice is being funny, it's like, oh yeah, that's funny. That's coach sports funny.
You see the
Or
wait,
John Cooper. John Cooper's another one.
Yeah.
Were you the
With
one
his
who-
Southern lawyer charm?
Yeah.
Oh my God, John Cooper.
What are you saying?
Just make me nauseous. But no, you see the Paul Maurice, Sam Reinhart stuff? Were you
No.
the one who sent it to me, or was it Drew?
I was probably Drew then, yeah.
Yeah, he was talking about Sam Reinhart hitting 50 goals, and he's like, oh, incredibly hardworking player, super talented. Unless you're looking to sign him as a free agent, then he's got an attitude problem.
That's pretty good.
that's
really
funny.
good line.
That's really funny.
That's a good line.
A good joke from Prison Rules Paul. Love him.
I like that.
Hate his team a lot, but
Keith, it lands kind of flat.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's because we're used to seeing Sheldon Keefe in one attitude, and it's a bad one.
Well,
Right? He's just usually and not a bad attitude. He's just grumpy.
his captain's John Tavares. What do you think is John Tavares' go-to joke? Like, all right, guys, what do you hear of this one? And then he tells a knee slapper.
Can you give us one? as John Tavares.
Okay, we're doing this as like improv. Okay,
Yeah.
let's name the item that John Tavares will be joking
All right,
about.
Adam's Mitch. I'm Austin.
All right.
we're sitting in 3 lockers in the dressing room, 3 stalls apart. Like, what do you?
Hey,
say?
John, you're the older, experienced vet. Tell us a fun story about life on the road.
Well, here, wait, no, I got one.
Okay, all right.
What did the kale say to the lettuce at the end of the party?
What do you say, John?
All right, let's leave.
Stop it. No.
That's a John Tavares joke.
That's a better joke than that's really quick, actually.
I came up with that on the
Let's
spot.
I think JT would give us something like that. That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
I thought it was a pretty good one. I came up with that one in Oshawa.
Oh my God. So if you didn't watch the game last night or you're not a Leaf fan, if you're a Devil fan, you loved it. Jake Allen stood on his head. The Leafs had over 70 scoring chances. I think it worked out to close to 50.
Shot attempts,
excuse me.
although I would have believed you.
Yeah, shot attempts, but I think it was close to 50 shots. And
45.
it was the Leafs absolutely dominated, and Jake Allen said no. And the thing that sunk the Leafs were defensive lapses. And it was interesting because Matthews and Nylander after the game were not happy with the team. And Matthews called it an immature game.
And so did Sheldon Keefe.
And Sheldon Keefe
used that word.
Here's what he said, because I guess in the dressing room, Matthews and Nylander voiced their displeasure to the dressing room, which
Good.
you don't expect Willie to do that. I could see it from Matthew, but Willie's usually
even picture it.
no, right?
Yeah.
He said they've got to be the example. John Tavares has been the example for us. He's been outstanding for us for a long period of time. He himself got carried away tonight,
That is interesting.
and he did. He said, that's our captain. So if that's going to happen, well, like the rest of the bench is now, well, we're just going to make it up as we go. When you do that, you open the door for the opposition to have a good night, and they did that. And I thought the last goal at the end of the third period there, that's indicative of our second and third periods. Now, Sheldon went on to say that this has happened a lot, and I think this quote is also key.
He's right.
So he was asked if it was a one-off game. He said, well, it has happened a lot for our group over the years. And I'm talking about the experienced people, and that came back tonight, and I thought the game invited it. It's 25 shots. Everybody's feeling great. You get lots of puck touches. You think it's going to happen again, and you're going to stay with it. I don't know if anybody's ever got 75 shots in a game before. I don't think that happens. Usually things adjust, and the opposition pushes back. The game kind of tidies up a little bit, but I just thought we got incredibly sloppy, careless, and that's disappointing. But to your point, that hasn't been us. We haven't played that way for quite some time. So I thought our guys got a little too excited, a little too carried away, and we'll tighten up back here real quick.
Like, listen, they were missing a lot of guys, and I didn't hear that as an excuse once.
Which is nice, because in the past it would have been.
Yeah, like, I think coaching. How do you evaluate a coach? Like, I know a lot of people don't like him right now, but there are so many things that happened in that game where I'm like, Sheldon Keefe didn't tell you to do any of those things.
No.
That Max Domi pass on the 5-3 goal.
That's the one. That's the one that I got the most gripes with.
By the way,
Uncle.
what kills me is he'd had a great game up to that point.
yeah.
He had been a great game.
But at no level of hockey do they tell you to spin around, blind pass the puck to the middle of the ice.
And that's one of the best, like, in terms of playmaking vision, he's literally at 5-on-5, one of the most productive playmakers in the entire National Hockey League.
Yeah, and his vision was looking at the boards and passing it behind his head. Like,
He
it was ridiculous.
By the numbers, has one of the most gifted playmaking minds in the sport. And he did that. Like, you talk about the leaders on your team, like, isn't that one of them? He's not like a kid anymore. He's been in the league, or he was drafted 9 years ago.
He's been in the
on,
conference
like,
finals.
6 teams. Yeah, he's been
Man,
around.
the chances he's had. I know I've harped on this before. How did he get 28 goals? How Oh my God, the amount of chances I wish he would bury. But, just that Nyes, Holmberg, Robertson line, please don't subject us to that ever again. Jake McCabe has got to pull his head out of you-know-where. He's had a horrible last couple games. And he's had a pretty good season, but man, his bad games are horrible. Liljegren, I thought, had a pretty good game, except for on, I think it was the third goal, he decided to drop into the butterfly in the middle of his goalie's crease. Wool allowed a bad goal. And I'm trying to remember what they all were. It was a game lost in the moments. And that's how the playoffs are won.
Yeah, can we do a freeze frame of this one? Because this feels like a moment where the Leafs and Bruins, it's 1-1 in the third.
Yep.
Look at this. Matthews has 9 shots.
Yeah, 9 shots. That's the graphic on screen. And it's 1-1 in the third period. And this is the mistake that Jake Gardiner makes, Justin Hall makes.
Yep.
And here it's Max Domi, unfortunately. It's the spin around. I'm not looking. And just in this moment where you're looking for a goal, you make this ugly play. And we can watch it here. The puck's going around the boards. It comes up to Max Domi, who's around the blue line. He gets it along the boards. He's facing the boards, and what he decides to do with the puck while facing the boards is spin without looking and send it right to the middle of the ice to Timo Meier.
Wow.
And you see Timmins backing up. Timmins, who is an offense-first guy with 3:20 to go in a game that you're losing, is like, nope, don't give me that. Or you're trying to get it to Benoit. Hey, I have a crazy suggestion. Off the boards to the best goal scorer on the planet, whose defender is skating away from him.
He received the puck on his backhand. He could have just flipped it back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Matthews, the puck went right over Matthews' stick. Unfortunately, he couldn't grab it there, and Domi just decides to send it right to the middle of the zone without looking at anything.
There's no chance he starts on the top line next game. Just from that alone, right? If you're looking, well, I don't know. Maybe that's too extreme, but if you're looking to send a message, there's no way he starts.
So
on the top line.
It's tape to Timo Meier, who takes it.
No, that's Curtis Lazar.
Oh, sorry, Lazar goes the other end. Yeah, Lazar takes it. He goes all the way to the other end.
Jack Hughes
gets it.
Jack Hughes.
1-on-1 on the goaltender goal. That's game.
That's got to be the worst 3-4 seconds of Max Domi's life.
That reminds me
between
of
the giveaway and the goal.
That's a Montreal series. That's Travis Dermott.
That's what I'm saying.
That's Alex Galchenyuk.
Yeah,
that's Galchenyuk.
Yeah,
and you talk about a series where, through 7 games cumulatively, they were the better team.
Yep.
But those mistakes, they bite you in the ass come the playoffs. And if we're screaming about this, Sheldon Keefe is talking to him right now, hopefully not making jokes.
I don't think he is, Jesse.
No, and
not today.
He's beating this out of him right now, and he knows. If we know, he knows that you can't make these mistakes. And I hope that come playoff time, this isn't happening.
Not to have people who don't deserve it catching strays, but if William Nylander is accosting you for not paying attention to your defensive details, maybe pull your head out of your ass.
Yeah, and I think it's good to see William Nylander stepping up. I think it's good to see Austin Matthews stepping up. I think if you watched the Amazon documentary, you could see John Tavares, trying to get super intense in that last intermission before the last period of the game. And that is not, I wouldn't say that that's John's forte. I don't think John Tavares would tell you that he's the most charismatic guy. What John does, and what was great for this team, and what is great, is he leads by example.
Well, he's supposed to be the level head.
He's the level head. And listen, the skill set is diminishing, but he's still an extraordinarily effective player.
Yeah.
And I think he'll come back next year. He's one of those guys that whatever his weakness is, he seems to come back and try to improve on it.
Yeah,
and
eventually time negates it.
For sure. But I think he's done a very, very good job. I don't think he had a great game last night.
No.
But I think it's important, and I've said this for a year and a half now, I think Matthews needs to be the captain here pretty soon. And
it's going to happen.
Stepping up and talking to the team after a loss like that is captain shit. And he needs to do that.
It takes more than one.
Of course. And I think there's probably more to it than that.
Yeah.
I also think this is a great reminder in a low-stakes game for the Leafs right? Because they are probably going to finish where they're going to finish, right? Unless there's some gigantic losing streak.
The Lightning are right there charging, and they have 2 games. The Lightning and Leafs have 2 games head to head.
Okay.
So there's a shot that the Leafs could fall down to a wild card spot here,
including the second last game of the season. Yeah, but so I outlined this in the video yesterday. If you bring up the standings, if the Leafs do fall to that wild card spot, I don't think it matters.
You're okay with it?
Well, because no matter what, they're not going to have home ice advantage in the first round. They're either going to be there's a super off chance they pass the Panthers or the Bruins. I don't.
They're
think
not passing Florida.
No, it's not going to happen.
Let's rule that out.
So they're either going to be the 3rd seed, which would start on the road, or they're going to be the wild card team. If you could scroll down just a little bit. So as the 3rd seed, they're either playing the Bruins or Panthers. As a wild card seed, there's a really good chance they either play the Bruins or Panthers because the Rangers are the top team in the East right now. Or, there's an off chance maybe you play one of the Metro teams, which honestly you might even prefer.
Yeah.
Like it just, whether the worst part of the Leafs dropping down to the wild card spot would be they obviously haven't played very well.
And guaranteed no home ice throughout the playoffs, basically.
Well, and that too. I mean, as the 3rd seed, you're probably not getting it anyway. I think you're beyond worrying about that. I think you just need to play your best, whether you're at home or on the road. And I don't know if you've seen the Leafs friggin' home record versus their road record. Good that they don't have. They were 1-5.
Yep.
They finally won a round last year. They were 1-5 at home.
Yep.
That's unfathomable.
Why is that?
Why?
Yeah, you said it yesterday.
I don't remember.
The fans.
Oh, the fans. Yeah, I was joking.
You were being sarcastic.
I was being sarcastic.
It's just such a hard market to play in.
Maddie's
doing the wave. It was the wave.
It's the wave.
Oh, man. You got what you deserved.
We need a Maddicam. That's so funny.
Yeah. I mean, listen, there's a... listen, I'm not worried about last night's game. I think you had...
No.
I think the third thing I do want to talk about with last night's game, though, is Joseph Woll. And that's 2 games in a row. First shot goes in. Keith even mentioned it in the... I'm sorry, but we can't... That's not acceptable. It's not okay. Yeah. It can't... we literally cannot do it. And if you see his press conference afterwards, you see how remorseful he is. What I'm concerned about with Joe Woll is that he's got the Jack Campbell syndrome of he's too hard on himself.
Well...
Because you do move on from a game like that. You need to.
I thought he was the only reason they were even in the Carolina game.
Yeah.
And like he allowing the first shot. I mean, the first shot in the Carolina game was Jake McCabe going between his legs, like in front of them. Like, what are you doing?
Sometimes you need a save, Steve.
I agree. And last night,
the Hughes breakaway they could have used to save. There's plenty of time.
I don't care that it's a knuckler. Yeah, you got to make a save. JD Bunk has had a meme. It was that Joseph Woll lets in a bad goal, and it's like, oh, it's okay, you sweetie pie. And then Ilya Samsonov allows a bad goal. Hello, human resource.
Yeah.
And that is kind of how he's treated.
Yeah.
I mean, Woll's got the net here a little bit until Sammy recovers.
I'm okay.
Whatever. Who do they play
I think
tomorrow?
we are.
It's got to be good.
I think Adam's right in that people are a lot harder on Samsonov than Woll.
Yeah.
Like what was Mike Johnson's line? Tim Wakefield would be proud of that knuckler, the first one that went in. It's like, yeah, it's a knuckler, but you want to save that early in the game.
You can track them. Like
Yeah.
you're allowed to stop them.
Right.
You're allowed to like.
And it wasn't like it was through traffic. It was there's 2 guys there,
Yeah.
and it was then you, the goalie, and I think you need to save that.
It was the shot was from far enough. It wasn't at like lightning speed.
No.
Like, man,
By the way,
really like your goalie to get in front of.
I think it's also important that people know that Joseph Woll is not a child. He's 25.
He's older than you think. Yeah.
Yeah, and Samsonov's 27.
2016 draft pick.
Yeah. So it's
He
like,
can take some criticism.
He can take some criticism. He'll be okay. And I actually like that Sammy's not going back in next game because of the whatever he got banged up or whatever in the last game.
There's no reason to rush him.
I
there
think
should be no game time decisions in late.
I know, but more than that, I think you need to get Woll to sort things out. He missed a good chunk of the season with the high ankle sprain. He was playing well before that. Let him sort it out. Again, as I said to you guys, I think these are relatively low stakes games. Obviously you want to lock up the playoffs, and I get that. I understand that. But get him in there and get as many reps as possible. Okay, you had a bad night. Well, you're going in tomorrow.
Yep.
And okay, stop the first shot tomorrow. Let's see you do it. And I think that is a confidence thing. Joseph Woll didn't forget how to play goaltender. It's all between the ears, and he can sort this out very, very
In
quickly.
his 6 games since returning from his injury, Joseph Woll is an 884 and 2-4.
That's pretty bad.
He needs to sort that
That's
out.
not great.
And tomorrow you got the Capitals, who are hot, and you killed them last time you played them. So it's going to be a tight game.
Ovechkin hat trick.
Tight game against a hungry team. I friggin' hope not, Jesse. Well, okay, here's what we need to do. We need Willie to get on the mic and say, not tonight.
Oh,
Because apparently that works. And then OV will just be limited to 1
yes.
or 2 since the stakes are a hat trick.
Yeah.
That will be the
They
victory.
stopped Hyman from getting 2.
They stopped
Willie
him
said
from
it.
getting 2. It wasn't until the next night when he scored against the Sens because he's still a Leaf.
And they broke in the middle of the game to announce it.
You guys are nerds for that.
What do you mean we're nerds for that?
You're nerds. I'm upset. Meh.
I would like, for one time in my life, to have a Leafs home broadcast.
You
that
got
is
it
On
yesterday.
Sportsnet.
That is a bunch of homers
Yeah.
who like the Leafs.
Yeah.
And
Got it
I
yesterday.
often, when I watch hockey, I do not get that.
Right.
That is what I'm saying, Steve.
And listen, if they're playing, it's 2 Canadian teams and it's on the national broadcast,
Sure.
you're fine. But you're playing Carolina. It's okay to say,
a regional game.
can you imagine? Okay, imagine this: Jack Edwards.
I won't.
Jack Edwards in
won't
Boston,
imagine it.
going. Wow, that's so great that Tyler Seguin's having such a great year during a Boston Bruins game. How do you think Boston reacts to that?
There's a former Bruin in this game, and I wish him well.
You sound like Cosby. That's the,
There's a whoa.
that was you sound like you're Jello pudding.
Jesse, I don't know if you've heard a Nesson broadcast, but oh wow.
Yeah, it
Wow.
does. You do sound like him. There's like
He says the Bruins.
the Bruins.
They're 1 syllable. The Bruins.
What did he say? There was one play where it's like he practically killed him, or something
Wait,
Is
are
it
you-
Polak or something like?
When Andreas Janssen, they stopped the play because he was injured, but he was injured, but only sort of injured. I mean, the player's not unconscious. Jesse, that's what he sounds like.
You gotta work on that. It's a little too close to the sun. You don't want to be doing that one.
don't know what the jazz is all about.
No.
You're flying too close to the sun, Steve. You know?
Yeah, don't, you're girl bossing a little close.
Yeah, I
girl
think,
Boston a little too close to the sun.
I think you stick with the JT, your wheelhouse.
But I think it's okay. It's all right to say, listen, the Leafs are the Canadian team here. Let's
Don't laugh.
Oh yeah,
Don't encourage them.
with the broadcast thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would like just a home broadcast. It'd be cool.
Okay, now for no reason at all, I would like to tell you something. Alexis Lafreniere, Ranger, having a good year this year. 47 points in 72 games.
Gosh,
How many goals and how many assists in his career does Alexis Lafreniere have? Just guess.
he's probably at under 100.
Can you give us the amount of games he's played?
288. Can you believe that, by the way? He's
Goals, I'm going to say 69. And points, I'm going to say...
I asked assists.
Wait, no, that's too much.
Asked assists.
Assists?
Yeah.
In 200 and whatever?
88.
I'm going to say he has 58.
Okay, Jesse.
288 games. Steve said 58 assists.
And 69 goals.
I don't care about the goals. You asked about the assists.
No, I asked for both. I asked
you
for goals
want
and
both?
assists. I want goals and assists.
goals and assists. Okay.
I'm going to say 58 and 58.
Okay. I thought you said
What's
69.
What's your new answer?
58 and 58.
Oh, okay.
58 and 58. I'm going to say he has 47 goals
Okay.
and 65 assists.
So I'll tell you something. Jesse, you came closest on the assists. Steve had the goal number, but he moved off of it. Alexis Lafreniere, as of this recording, has 69 goals and 69 assists.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's a nice career. Thank you, Ryan Mead, by the way, one of our Rangers friends who does the Blue Shirts Breakaway
But
podcast.
wait, why did he mention it?
Because it's
Why
nice.
is that noteworthy?
Because it's the sex number, Steve.
Oh!
Yeah, crazy.
Oh!
Crazy.
It's the sex number.
I also wanted to mention that there was a couple instances last night that were pretty special. Zach Hyman getting his 51st goal. By the way, Zach Hyman that's his 200th goal of all of his entire career.
Wow.
Or wait.
So 25% of Zach Hyman's goals have been scored this year.
The dude who made his NHL debut in 2016.
That's right.
Zachary Hyman.
Zachary Hyman.
Drafted by the Panthers.
Yes.
He scored. Sorry.
He
He
has scored
over now
20
a quarter of his career goal
this year.
Yeah.
51,
Zach Hyman.
51 goals.
The
He has-
hockey player.
He has 200 goals in 569 games and 192 assists to boot.
Pretty cool.
I don't think I'm sending Kyle Dubas a card this Christmas.
I think. Come on.
No, I'm not doing it.
We
Come
need
on,
to stop.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
We need to
troll.
At the time, it made sense.
His career most goals at that time was 21. If he had played the full season in 2020, 2021, which nobody did, right? He played 43 games. He had 15 goals. So you double that, and he has about 30, 28-ish.
If I want to be miserable, that's my prerogative.
I get that, but let's not be incorrect about
Steve,
that. There's a lot of people
nobody at
taking
the
Dubas to the
time-
cleaners about this.
Nobody at the time wanted to give Zach Hyman 8 years and $5.5 million.
There was actually an individual, and his name was Kenneth Holland.
No, I mean Leafs fans and Leafs management. Like nobody thought that would have been a good deal if they went the extra year and gave him the exact same amount that Edmonton was willing to pay. Like he would have stayed if we offered him that, if the Leafs offered him that, but like we didn't want to do that as fans.
And what did I tell you? Getting that draft pick.
No.
Should have got the damn draft pick, Kyle. Should have
What?
got the damn draft pick.
What if this is just part of my mourning process, and you need to be nicer to me?
No. If you expect me to be nice to you on the show, then you're on the wrong show.
Damn, you're right.
Yeah, it's true.
that's
Listen, it's
not
only the
not
Steve
why we're
Dangle
here.
podcast. It's not to be nice to
We're
Steve
here to
Dangle.
bully this guy.
There's a reason it's not called Steve Dangle and Friends.
Hey, we're only here to toughen you up because, well, actually, we're not much nicer than the internet is.
Yeah.
So I think if we're grading on a curve here, Jesse and I are doing great.
We're like the nicest people on earth.
Yeah.
In comparison to the internet.
On your earth.
Yeah, fatso.
I can't stand yelly, screamy guy.
What is he doing on my TV?
Yeah. Yeah. Boo, hiss.
Food is so good.
Food is good.
It's so frustrating.
Dude. It's also you're a dad. Everybody gains weight when they have a kid. Like, unless you don't. Good for you. But most people do. I'm gonna get somebody going. Oh, actually, Adam, I didn't do that. I went to the gym.
All right.
Like, yeah, that's great, man. That's cool. Good for you.
accent is
I'm
that
thrilled for
now?
you.
I don't know what
It's
that
my
is.
Instagram DMs from the butt actually crowd. I love that.
Yeah.
I'll show you
my,
butt actually. I got a good butt actually.
My dad is a drummer.
Yes.
We've talked about this. And he met, I think the drummer is Neil Peart.
From Rush.
Yep.
That's very cool, by the way.
Canadian legend.
I think it was Neil Peart. And he got a picture with him. And he was so happy to get a picture.
That's pretty cool.
And the picture comes back. And my dad goes, "Oh my God, I didn't realize how much weight I'd gained." And he immediately lost like 40 pounds.
Oh, good for him.
because of that photo.
And that's also good for his health.
Yes. And we just did baby pictures. And that is my Neil Peart photo.
Okay.
I have been such a good boy ever since we got those photos back.
Oh,
I'm like,
see-
oh shit.
See, I don't think you look that bad. I think that's you.
I
being hard on
feel
yourself.
great. I feel awesome. But
Okay.
I'm a big boy.
Well, I want to tell you this. So the Zach Hyman thing was great. Josh Doan for
yeah.
the Arizona Coyotes. So Shane Doan, traitor to the Leafs because he's in.
Pick a side,
Yeah,
Shane.
he goes down to the Coyotes. Who are they? Okay.
Yeah,
and goes
them, lesser than.
I'm gonna watch my kid. Listen, if you're gonna do it right,
Gonna wash
you
them
have
too.
to be like Colin and Gregory Campbell and completely disavow yourself of your son.
Yes.
You cannot defend your son under any circumstances, especially with the officiating in NHL internal email.
No, I think if there's a bad call, you cry and shit your pants and you Tanya Harding the ref and you try to wreck their entire career. Oh, sorry. That's only a minor exaggeration of something that actually happened and is documented in real life. And he's 71 and still has his job with the league and nothing matters.
Jesse,
Sorry,
I just
anyway,
sent you a
continue.
clip of the Josh Doan second goal because he is the first player in Coyotes history to score 2 goals in his first game, which I think is a kind of a neat record to have. But also, I want you to just have a look at the booth where his parents are sitting
Screen grab.
when
I'll wait for
when
it.
he scores the second goal. I don't know
Who is this?
I don't know who this person is, but he's enormous.
Holy shit.
So there's Shane Doan, former NHL player, and here's
Natty?
Muscle.
Natty? Is he Natty? He's Natty, bro.
He's enormous, but the tarps are off.
That's a lot of steroids.
Yeah.
Like, he looks
Jesse,
like the
allegedly.
father
Oh,
hugging.
yeah, I don't know this man.
No,
Yeah,
he looks
I'm
like
kidding.
the father hugging his son, Shane Doan.
Yes.
Like, that is
Great job, son.
Who is he?
jacked Bert Kreischer. Like, what? Look at that. Look at that. His pecs have pecs and his abs have abs.
Also, who let him take his shirt off in the arena?
Why aren't you on Monday Night Raw, sir? Like, what? Look at that.
He's huge.
Who is this enormous man? I've stood next to Shane Doan. He is not small.
No.
Like, okay, on top of being the most jacked person in the world, this dude is also like at least 6'4" or 5.
Yeah, he's huge.
That's crazy.
He's huge. And he's tatted up. And he's tatted up in the most painful spot, which is right next to your underarm. No, the other one.
Oh, this
Yeah,
one?
Yeah, like the inside of your
Tell
arm
me
right
about
here.
it.
Holy moly.
Yeah, that was my first one.
And he's like,
What
give
a
me more
stupid
taps
idiot.
All
there.
right, Steve,
Yeah.
get your shirt off.
Yeah, all right. I look the exact same. Yeah. We are the same here.
By the way, he's nicely tanned too.
Yeah, just a couple husky guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's got that Arizona tan.
Holy shit.
It's good. Good for him. Man, what a good time.
By the end of the show, I'll tell you who this is.
Yeah?
You find out?
Yeah, I'll find out.
All right, I like that. Sleuthing Jesse.
Also, I want to shout out Shane Doan and Josh from the post-game broadcast where he handed his son the game puck.
That's so cool.
You can see it here. He has the game puck in his hand and he gives it over to his son.
Is there any particular reason why he's such a traitor?
Because
Shane Doan?
He's
Why isn't he wearing a Leafs jersey?
I
You're now
know
a
he's
Leaf
getting
now.
Leaf paychecks and he's wearing a Coyotes
Yeah.
jersey.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, Shane.
It's a very nice moment.
It is. It's
That
beautiful.
that reminds me of the time I scored the 8-3 goal in a charity game, and Eric Lindros got the puck and he gave it to my dad, and my dad gave it to me, and I gave it back to my dad. We are the same, me and Josh Joan.
Steve, what are your thoughts on? So, Matt, if you want to bring this up, so if you'll see in the background, they're at Mullet Arena, right? And that's the lower bowl of Mullet Arena.
No, that's the bowl.
And
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jesse.
we'll
sorry.
move on. I'm so sorry. We'll move on. I was doing an arena joke.
What were you going to say? What were you going to say?
it's all
say
right.
it. You got to say it, Jesse. I'm going to laugh. It's hilarious.
What's
Come
next?
on.
What's
no,
next
just
on
Steve,
the
we got to
docket?
laugh at Jesse's joke. Go, Jesse. Please.
What's
Here,
next
wait.
on the docket?
No, we're waiting
I'm
on
ready.
you.
No,
I'm ready.
No. Steve loves Arizona, and I won't make an arena joke at all.
Jesse, there's my funny bone.
Tickle it.
Tickle it.
Tickle it.
Tickle it.
Tickle it.
Do you
it a
want me to
little
touch your
tickle.
weenus?
Give it a little tickle.
The weenus? Isn't that?
Yeah, I
what
think
it's
it's called the
called?
Yeah, I
weenus.
think
Yeah.
the weenus is
Jesse,
right here.
tickle my
Give his
weenus.
weenus a little
The
tickle.
weenus is on the elbow.
I'm sorry for wrecking your.
That's all right. It wasn't worth it.
I didn't mean to do it.
Uh,
Hey, how do we sell stuff, Jesse?
At the
You're
flea
not
market.
Jesse.
yeah, no. That's he definitely said Steve.
I said, how do we sell stuff, Jesse?
I don't know.
Jesse, how do we
you
sell
want to
stuff?
continue, Steven?
Yeah, we use Shopify.
No, thanks.
okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Steve, what else can you tell me about setting up Shopify for small business?
Well, in the store that I built, I wanted to make it on a platform that was dependable, that had a really like something like 10% of all e-commerce
Right.
is done using the Shopify
That's
platform.
true, yeah.
So
Are you just guessing the ad read?
no, he's
no,
right.
I've done
He's
the ad
actually
read
right.
before. And Steve, can you?
Okay, that's all right. Sorry.
Here, sorry.
Man, Steve's so.
My
he
name's
interrupts
on the
everything.
show. I figured I could talk.
arrogant. Ooh, I'm a big yelly screamy man. So
I like the Leafs.
Yeah, Shopify. This guy. Shopify. 10% of all e-commerce.
Yeah, we
stuff
got that.
using that great platform that I built our shop on.
He's
That's
great.
great.
Just recycling the same line
Now,
he knows.
Now, what you do need to know
Listen,
is
the job of a producer is a hard one, and I wish you would go easy on me.
Go ahead.
I do
Keep
want to say
going.
this, that if using Shopify, the reason that we jumped to it is because our merch sucked for a long time. And for anybody that still has one of our original t-shirts, that's great. They didn't wash well.
No.
They didn't last long. And Jesse, when you built it, you had quality in mind, right? We wanted to get good merch out there.
Yeah. No, like the platform we sync with to send out all of our merch. Like it was very intuitive to get it all together on the Shopify platform. It's the best place. Like SDPN.ca, it wouldn't exist without Shopify.
So sign up for a $1 per month trial at shopify.com/SDP. All lowercase. Again, it's shopify.com/SDP now to grow your business. No matter what stage you're in, it's shopify.com/SDP. Hey, you know who's not happy? And it's not really surprising. Evander Kane, who was scratched. And by the way,
remember I brought it up on Monday and I said, hey, that scratching for an injury awfully looks like a healthy scratch.
have a look at this. I just sent you the clip. Here's how you know it's not an injury. And listen, I respect the way he handles it. I never expect a player to be happy. Whenever someone's like, "Oh, a player's not happy that they're scratched," I'm like, "Well, do you expect them to be?" I don't expect them to be.
Can you imagine?
This is great.
I don't know.
I get to eat chili and eat popcorn with my buds.
Every day in the show is a blessing. Like, I don't give a shit.
No,
you don't want
why,
that.
Like, I think Kipper said something when Nick Robertson was saying, he's like, I was pissed off about being sent down. And he was like, it's about the team or whatever. And where I disagree with Kipper, and again, I didn't play in the NHL, is do I expect a 22-year-old player to be thrilled that they were sent down? No, I want him to be mad.
Yep.
Doesn't mean he's not a good member of the team. Let's have a look at Evander Kane.
Just getting back in after having a maintenance game or a maintenance day a couple of games.
I feel good. Yeah.
Was it just a build-up of things that sometimes just have one game off gives you an extra few days to rest and be ready?
I guess so, yeah.
No.
They tried to protect him, eh? They tried to make it seem like it was an injury.
So that's where he loses me a little. Like, okay, he could have handled it worse.
I don't think he handled it bad, but I mean, they did try to protect him.
Well, okay.
He didn't score a goal. I don't think he scored a goal this month.
No, I agree. Listen, they tried to protect him, and then he said those things, and what do we all know?
That it was performance based.
Well, so was that effective or ineffective?
Like Gene Principe saying it was a maintenance day, right?
And
like,
it's
he
Gene.
handed it to him.
It's Gene.
Gene Parmesan. No, Gene Principe.
Gene is first of all, how dare you? Yeah. Second of all, he's the nicest man.
He is.
The nicest man, Gene Principe, with his props. His wacky props. I love them.
He's always got a good intro.
He does have a good intro.
And I just want to say, listen, I don't expect Evander Kane to be upset. Or sorry, not upset.
Totally. I'm not. It's not a criticism. I'm just saying they gave him an out and he fumbled it.
Yeah. Well, okay. Let me ask the two of you something.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Let's say you're in the same position. Do you go along with the team thing, or do you come out and say, well, you make an allusion to it? Like,
I don't know.
You got to remember, you're like extremely competitive.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing, right? Like, it's not like Sean Couturier took his scratch from Torts very well either. These guys want to be in the lineup. Like, I'm not saying he did anything wrong.
Jesse?
Maybe he doesn't want to be protected. He wants to be in the damn lineup.
I think the way Toronto handled the TJ Brody scratching is the way Knobloch should have handled the Evander Kane scratching.
Okay.
That you're more open and honest about the situation in that, hey, you need a mental day off, more so than, hey, you have lingering injuries, which is true.
Yeah.
Like Evander Kane had a bad injury like this season. Like he's
all,
always injured.
They all do.
All of them are injured. You can always say that, but you should also acknowledge that you haven't been playing well. And to the media, like the coach should acknowledge that the player hasn't been playing well, and that he also needs a day off on a back-to-back too. Like it made sense.
If you ever like overhear a conversation between two NHL players, like literally fly on the wall, which I've had the opportunity to do, they're always complaining about something.
Mm-hmm.
Because, dude, they play a contact sport 100 times a year if they're lucky.
Mm-hmm.
You play 82 games for the opportunity to play 25 more.
And don't forget the 7 or 8 that you play
in the
to start the year. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And some try hard is going to destroy you during an intra-squad game.
Yeah.
I'm
trying to make the AHL from the E, so I'm going to light up this NHL player.
Yeah,
like what Mark Stone.
what's his name from the Sens? No, you're talking about a preseason game. I'm talking about someone in the Sens system, like
Clark MacArthur
knocked Clark MacArthur into another dimension
after he had a concussion.
And Bobby Ryan fought him because he's like, "You dumbass, what are you doing?" I don't even remember the kid's name.
Well, I don't think he played much.
I don't know.
Got the sense that he
Not in the NHL, he didn't.
I like when players get upset about stuff like that. I think the coach wins, and I know players hate it. I think, first off, let me ask you this. Is a benching or a scratching more... What's the more... I don't want to say humane, because I don't want to insinuate that it's inhumane. But what's the...
dignified?
Dignified. What's the more dignified thing to do? Healthy scratch or bench...
A benching is like if you did something bad mid-game. Like,
although Torts has dressed guys and just not played them.
Yeah.
But he's the only one.
Yeah,
he's like the only one.
That's a Torts thing.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Well, I think healthy scratch, because unless you're John Tortorella, you're not putting your team at a disadvantage. You're putting someone else in that roster spot. Whereas if you bench a guy, well, now you're playing with a short bench.
Sure. Okay.
You're putting everyone else at a disadvantage.
Okay. All right. Jesse, what do you think? What would you rather have?
I think it's the healthy scratching, right? Yeah.
Is the more dignified one?
Yeah. You healthy scratch. You don't embarrass them on the ice in front of everybody, and all the TV cameras and all the other players on the ice. You healthy scratch. And what they did here, I think, was the right thing to do with Evander Kane. And I think, I don't know, his attitude about it should have been a little better, because if you look at the numbers, it's understandable. If you look at what his body has been through, it makes sense to not play back-to-back against the Senators. Like, are you that upset you didn't have to play the Sens in Ottawa on Sunday?
I think these guys are proud.
Yeah, it's true, but I don't know. I think there's take a step back, Kane. Realize you needed a maintenance day, and this is okay, and you're going to survive. You'll be with the Edmonton Oilers, probably not in a top 6 role going into the playoffs, but it's fine.
These guys look at the schedule. And if you're struggling, if you're historically in your career a goal scorer, and you look at the Sens coming up on the schedule,
you want to take advantage?
Hard not to think it might not be, or it might be cookie night. Hey, you know who it's been cookie night for? Connor Brown.
Oh,
Connor
man.
Friggin' Brown.
Good for him. What is that, 4 points in the last 6 games? 3 of them goals?
3 goals. I knew it. Listen.
I didn't. I'll be straight up about that. I think that this is rough.
I didn't think his career was over. I think he's had an extraordinarily difficult recovery from an injury.
Yep.
I always say good players don't forget how to play hockey. Connor Brown is a good player.
Yep.
Who's been betrayed by his body.
Sure.
And that happens to basically every pro athlete. Will he ever return to what he was? I don't know. But he's a contributor. Whereas for the first nearly 60 games of the season, he was out there running around and trying to keep the puck out of his own net instead of doing anything productive offensively. Connor Brown's a guy I'll cheer for, man.
Oh, you can't not root for that.
No, I've told that story before. I was at a playoff game, half in the bag, and some lady with short hair comes up to me. She stops me, and I'm like, well, put on your sober face. And she goes, oh, you're Dangle. And I go, yep. She goes, I'm Ann Brown. I'm Connor's mom.
I remember that.
And she was just so proud of Connor friggin' Brown. And now here he is. He's been through hell and back. He's back. And that's a player I'll always cheer for.
I thought this was an interesting tweet from Frank Saravalli. All right. This had to do with escrow, which I know is traditionally a bit of a dry subject, but I just thought you'd find this interesting. Sources say the players can expect to receive half of their escrow returned if the $6.2 billion revenue projection is accurate. Now, remember, imagine you're a hockey player and you play hockey and you sign a contract. And every year, the NHL owners say, you're going to have to give some of that back to us because we got to make sure that we're made whole. That's got to sting a little bit. And you're probably kind of pissed off at all the guys that broke the union back in 2005 and 2006 or whatever the hell that was.
Also, they're your boss and the people that you have to negotiate with now.
Yeah.
Brendan.
That's great. It's awesome that the players did that. However, they've had 6% of their total, and this is gross. This is not net. This is pre-tax dollars. 6% withheld. They could see 3% return. So let's say it's $1 million. That's $60,000 that would have been withheld by the NHL, and then you're going to get $30,000 of that back potentially. That's going to be a windfall for a lot of guys.
Oh, yeah.
And I said $1 million. Imagine if it's 10.
Well, and you might be like, oh, they're millionaires. What's 30 grand? First of all, they will take the 30 grand. Second of all, they're not all millionaires.
No, most of them are not.
Most of them are not. I've said it. The league min guys, a lot of them are making 700 grand at the NHL level or whatever minimum is. And then they go down to the AHL, they're making 70, which is a pretty regular ass full-time job.
Yep.
You're blocking 90 mile an hour slap shots and taking hits 80 billion times I'm not saying there aren't harder jobs out there. I'm just saying for me to step in front of a 90 mile an hour slap shot, I might hope for more than 70 grand.
Yeah, 100%. I actually, last night, what did they say? William Nylander's wrist shot goal between Jake Allen's legs, like the 5-hole goal, was 90 miles an hour.
His wrister.
Yes. And to give you put that in context, what is it? 103 miles an hour, 104 miles an hour. That's the slap shot competition best.
Yeah.
Maybe 106 by Chara or something like that.
Every year, there's someone in the hardest shot competition that barely cracks 90.
Yes,
dude, that's wow.
I think that's it does kind of go to show, and good for them. And by the way, if the revenue projections are correct and it's looking more and more like it will be, that salary cap's going up, and it's going up fast.
Yep. That's encouraging. I'm going to say what I always say. I'll believe it when I see it.
Okay. All right. Well, that's fair. Now, you wanted me to put this in the show, Steve. This is really important to you.
Cool.
This is
a newborn. I don't remember what it was.
This is Ryan O'Reilly, and I'm going to send it over to Jesse here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Ryan O'Reilly, after an enormous, insane, crazy comeback. If you didn't watch the game, the Nashville Predators, as you know, obviously, are on a heater. And last night, they went down really bad.
4-1.
4-1. Now, what do we know about 4-1 games being Leaf fans?
You got them right where you want them.
Because in the third period, the Nashville Predators scored 3 goals and then scored again in overtime and beat the Vegas flippin' Golden Knights 5-4. O'Reilly, Forsberg, Nyquist, and Yossi are the goal scorers. And Mark Jankowski too. So here's what Ryan O'Reilly had to say about it.
Oh gosh, so fun playing with those two. My Swedish meatballs, they're quite exciting out there. They're so smart, and the way they handle the puck. I think when we're tight and working together, it's so much fun.
So
he's talking about Gustav Nyquist and Philip Forsberg. I gotta shout out Ryan O'Reilly, and I gotta shout out Gustav Nyquist as well. And you know what? On a completely different end, I'll do Philip Forsberg. That whole friggin' line. Philip Forsberg should absolutely get Hart votes. I'm not saying he should win or even be nominated. He should 100% be on ballots. That's one of the most underrated offensive players in the entire world.
Yep.
Gustav Nyquist, I said that's not a first-line player in 2024. Turns out I'm wrong.
Yep.
He's a first-line player on literally the hottest team in hockey in the entire world. And then there's Ryan O'Reilly, who is on year 1 of a 4-year deal, paying him $4.5 million per. And when he signed that deal, obviously I was sad that he wasn't re-signing with the Leafs, but I was also like, he just turned 33 in February. How on earth does the Predators window match where you're at in your career? You're on the back 9. You want to be playing playoff hockey. You want to win championships. It's not like you signed a massive deal.
You were offered the same deal by the Leafs.
Yeah.
Exact same, for the dollar.
And I also didn't think he was a first-line center. But he's too defensive oriented. And he's a center you want on your team, but I didn't think he'd be the sort of center that leads the way. And I got to tell you, this defense-first center has 25 goals, 36 assists for 61 points in 72 games. He's having one of the best offensive seasons of his career. Actually, he's 3 points off of his second highest offensive output ever.
That's
highest,
amazing.
His highest is 77. He's probably not going to catch that. Ryan O'Reilly, Gustav Nyquist, the whole Nashville Predators team. Before the season, I completely underestimated them. I was wrong. Hands up. It's not even just this hot streak. Like, it went from, hey, they might mess around and make the playoffs, to they're going to make the playoffs convincingly, to no one on earth wants to play this hockey team. Not even the Avs. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. I really thought this player was content to, you know what? I don't want the spotlight. I just want to go to bars and listen to acoustic guitars. And
I don't blame him. He won a Stanley Cup. He won a Conn Smythe. Like, what more do you need?
And he's going to be competing for both those things again this year.
You were rather dismissive of the most important part of that line. That's Philip Forsberg.
The Swedish meatballs?
Because as Adam outlines, the most important thing in hockey is scoring goals.
Yep.
And he's been the one scoring all the goals for that line. Since March 1st, they've played 11 games. In those 11 games, Philip Forsberg has 11 goals.
That's amazing.
11 for 11 over his last 11 games, which is just fantastic. And if you worry about them scoring goals, he has 2 setup guys, and he's the goal scorer. And that's how they figured it out.
Nyquist, by the way, 20 goals, 45 assists for 65 points. So he's not cooked at all. Also, 8 penalty minutes. Like,
wow.
He should get Lady Bing votes. This is the guy who speared a dude in the face. Which is true. Philip Forsberg, 81 points in 72 games. Like, that's an incredible line. Incredible line, incredible team.
And Roman Josi, who was climbing up the points race for defensemen.
73!
I think he's in 3rd or 4th. I can triple check. He is in 3rd right now. He just passed Evan Bouchard on the points race. So he's just behind Quinn Hughes and Cale Makar, who's at 81 and 78. But he does lead all defensemen in goals now.
How did
he's
he
at 19?
Pass Evan Bouchard?
Yeah, who was just on the heater for the whole season. Yeah.
2 games ago, he had 3 assists against the Sens. I don't know what he had against Montreal.
Yeah.
Who did they play yesterday?
The Oilers?
Yeah. Who did Hyman score the OT winner against?
I don't remember.
It's hard to remember them all. Like, he's passing guys who are playing well also.
Mm-hmm.
It's
yeah,
dude,
so
they're crazy, and all because they didn't go to a U2 concert.
We'll watch that. It is, honestly. Like,
it has to be that.
No,
it couldn't
but
be because the players played well.
I don't like how you're dismissing the fact that's not specifically it, but a mentality change happened around that time.
After 2
losses. I agree.
Yes.
I was just making fun of Adam.
No, but I think it's fair to say that they had a mentality change where their Barry Trotz and the organization there said what we have now is not enough. We know there's more out of this team, and from that weekish on, they've changed that mentality and they're playing up to their fullest potential.
Like, I'm
really glad the equipment guys didn't get to see you too. So that the players
I think everybody in the organization is ecstatic right now at the possibility of this team going on a playoff run.
I'm sure they are.
And they would trade that a million times over for a concert at the Sphere.
Still don't think the concert it came from the players. I still don't think the concert made it break this. I cannot believe that.
What if that was the catalyst for the players to get their heads in the game and put it into the simply point?
You know what? You have to allow for the possibility.
Okay.
Jesse. And I have to allow for the possibility that I was wrong on that.
well, okay.
I just don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
Philip Forsberg has the highest, so out of the forwards.
Sure.
Like, this is how, like, I still can't wrap my head around they're this good. Philip Forsberg has the highest cap hit on the Preds at 8.5. Who's number 2 at 5.3? He's number 2.
Hang on.
Second highest cap hit. This should be easy.
You're talking about forwards.
Forwards.
Yes. Okay. You said on the Preds.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
On their out of their forwards.
Out of their forward.
This should be easy. Second highest paid guy.
Ryan O'Reilly.
He must be really.
No, Ryan's 4.75.
Ryan is Adam. He's even less. He's 4.5.
Okay.
Ryan is number 3.
I'm going to say Jason Zucker.
Holy shit, Jason Zucker.
Because that contract's old, right? That's like an old. Or no,
yeah,
he just signed that.
It's
expiring. Yeah, because he just came from Arizona.
Ryan O'Reilly's number 3. Who's number 4?
Gotta be Gus Nyquist.
It's not.
Is it Beauvillier?
Luke Evangelista.
It's Anthony friggin' Beauvillier.
Where again, he didn't sign it there, right?
Right.
And he signed it in Chicago, I think, and then got traded to Vancouver. Islanders.
Sign it in the Islanders.
Yeah.
Dude, like, how are
good for them?
Or was it maybe with the Canucks? No, I think it was the Islanders. Like, they made that Beauvillier trade, and I think our reaction and the entire hockey world's reaction was K.
Mm-hmm.
And they went out and they got Jason Zucker.
Yeah.
And the entire hockey world's reaction was K. And they may never lose again. They're unbelievable. They're unbelievable.
It's a crazy story. It's a great story. It really is. Okay, and do we have anything else that I wanted to hit? I just want to do a quick shout out to Aaron Portsline. He did a really great article, which we'll dive deeper in. We're not going to have time on this episode to kind of dive deeper in on the Blue Jackets, but I love the title of this. The Blue Jackets are the major league franchise that parity forgot.
Ooh.
Now the NHL franchise with its lowest points percentage since they came to life in 2000, 2001 is at another crossroads looking for another savior. So that we're going to deep dive into in a couple of days, tomorrow when we do our next show.
We are recording tomorrow because it is Good Friday on
That's
Friday.
right.
And then next week will be Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday.
And I, without getting into too specifics, Aaron's always really made time for our show when we've needed him.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to shout him out because he's had some health issues recently and he needed a donor for a particular organ. Again, I'm not going to get into it, but he posted it on his Twitter. And we just wanted to say a big shout out to Aaron because I'm thrilled for him. And I hope the procedure when it comes goes well, but they did find a donor and couldn't be a better guy. Like, really, he's been amazing to us, and I don't think there's a single person who's got a bad word to say about this guy. So I just want to shout him out because,
love Portsy,
friend of the show.
Yeah.
Should we do the press conference?
Let's do it.
Sure.
The Presser. SDP. The Steve Dangle Press Conference.
February 20th, 2024. The date of Spheregate.
Oh,
Since then, the Nashville Predators, 15-0-2. They have 32 points. The next closest team is the Carolina Hurricanes.
Wow, good for them.
Who have 26 points and are 12-4-2. The best team in the National Hockey League.
look at the LA
Nashville
Kings,
Predators.
by the way, coming on a little bit there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dude, all 15 are regulation wins. That's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
That's stupid.
The LA Kings deserve a shout out because it seemed like Victor Arvidsson, just having him back, has rejuvenated this team and has made them good again. So shout out them for going through a terrible stretch where they were with the Sharks at the bottom of the standings through like December through February, and then just getting it all back together.
The LA Kings love getting exactly one forward around the end of the winter and then going on a run.
Yeah. Hey, and look, Pierre-Luc
they do.
Dubois has 5 points in 5 games. They're assists.
Fart.
Maybe-
Why are you farting?
Maybe he'll want to stay there.
Matthew, like that.
Maybe he'll want to stay there.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Maybe he'll be like, I like it here. I'm
What
going
the
to
money's
stay.
for.
Anyway, sorry, Jesse. Go ahead and ask a
hockey
question.
So you're out on PLD forever?
He's made it difficult to cheer for him. Put it that way.
You want a okay. This is from Winter Soldier 31.
Okay.
All right.
Stump the Steve, part 2.
Ooh, like this.
Oh, part 2.
Who is the only player to score 7 goals in one game?
There's a player to score 7 goals in a game? Mm-hmm. Mario Lemieux had 6. 7 goals in a game?
Mm-hmm. There were no forward passes at the time.
Oh, man.
Babe die.
No.
Howie Meeker.
That's a good guess.
Odie Cleghorn.
That's a good guess. Joe Malone.
Joe Malone.
And that's for the Montreal Canadiens, right?
It was against the St. Pats for the Canadians, I believe.
Had to be in Toronto.
His grandson, Post.
Shut up, Steve. It's funny, though. I did like that.
And because Post hockey, posting in.
Right. No, we get it.
It's
All right.
No,
commemorative.
keep explaining it.
This
though.
is from
very good.
Varsity. And
It's not a joke.
if you are familiar with our ads for Roll Up to Win,
Roll to win.
we talk
Tim's.
often about San Diego because we asked Steve in that ad of where he could go anywhere in the world with one of the Hilton, I believe, prizes.
That's
that he
right.
could win.
In his Volkswagen ID.4, Jesse. Don't even have to stop for gas.
And Steve's very adamant that San Diego is a nice place because him and Mrs. Dangle didn't visit there during their trip to California, and he really wants to go because he missed out on San Diego.
She wants to go to a Gulls game real bad.
And he doesn't even want to take her. He wants to take us.
Yeah, she doesn't get to go.
No.
She's got to stay home with the baby alone.
Yeah. Just handle that 3-week-old.
Shout out to patriarchy.
We got some feedback from Varsity in our Discord.
Okay.
Not a question, but a statement. I was recently in San Diego, and I have family there, and I must say the level of slander being thrown out there by Jesse and Adam is downright disrespectful. The city is great. The waterfront is beautiful. You're a short drive away from some of the greatest beaches and hiking trails I've ever seen. And Steve is right to see it as a great vacation destination. Also, it's a bigger hockey town than I initially expected. Not just the Gulls, but there's a lot of representation for the Kings and Ducks, who are both a quick drive up the road. Adam's doing something else.
I think listen, I don't
right.
think at no point did I say San Diego was a bad city or that I haven't wanted to go there or whatever.
No, all you did was laugh.
It was just like
of wanting
hey,
to go there.
You got $10,000. Where do you want to go? And of all the places, the exotic places we could have gone, we could have gone to the Caribbean.
Sorry, I should have said Guernsey.
Yeah.
I really want to go to Guernsey.
That would have been very you as well. But San Diego seemed oddly specific. Right? You didn't even say like Dallas or Miami or, something.
Dallas?
Dallas is a fun city. You would love Dallas.
But I want the water.
You want the water, so you wanted San Diego.
Yeah.
I just think I'm not making fun of San Diego so much as I'm making fun of Steve's oddly specific choice of San Diego, if that makes sense.
Sorry, what I meant was Monteleone, Italy.
There you go.
Yeah, I got to visit it.
Adam, there's also a correction that needs to be made about something you said in A Christmas Story. So you referenced A Christmas Story. And
Does the correction need to be made? I wasn't doing a breakdown of A Christmas Story. The Red Ryder BB gun thing? What do you want to know?
You made up a name. So this is from Froggy J. It said, as a person who watched A Christmas Story every year since I can remember, and the 24 hours of it on TNT every year, they've shown it.
You watch all 24 hours, Froggy J?
Ralphie blames his friend Schwartz for knowing the swear word. His other friend was Flick. I don't know what name you made up, but it bugged me.
No, he said I didn't make.
Good for you.
I didn't make up a name.
Good for you, Froggy. Yeah, you did.
You said the wrong name.
She said you did, and you did.
All right.
Yeah, you did.
I don't even remember that.
Froggy J has listened, I think, since day one.
Yeah.
Froggy J, I think, has been here before me.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's funny because Froggy J has a frog in their Twitter account
And a J.
And what's funny about that is for a while there that was like the sign of the alt-right. So every time the frog came up, I'm like, oh, what bullshit tweet is? Oh, okay, it's just Froggy.
It's them.
Yeah.
Oh, here you go. This is from Popular Crown. I just searched for Christmas, see if anybody else was talking about it on our Discord.
All right, here we
Popular Crown said, the kid from A Christmas Story that Ralphie blamed about hearing the F word is Schwartz, not Fuller, who isn't a character.
Did I say Fuller? I'd like to go back and rewind the tape on this. Who is Fuller?
Great question, Adam. Why don't you tell the class?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, shit.
Sometimes.
That's funny. So I think last episode, and Popular Crown wrote, source, someone who has watched A Christmas Story.
I don't know if I believe you. I'm sorry. You're going to have to provide proof.
We're going to have to go back to last episode and just do a re-listen to see if you just made up a character from this movie.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think man, if I did, damn. Like, what am I going to say? I don't know.
I think you might have called them Fuller when there's no person. Steve has lost it. Let me see if I can do this in real time. One thing, I haven't been successful in finding the shirtless guy's name yet. So that'll have to be
that's
last
a shame.
episode. But we got a lot of controversy going on here with A Christmas Story.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Anyways,
These things matter.
Adam, it's funny.
I don't remember saying that. That's what's weird. I don't remember that at all. Anyway. Anyway.
All right.
Can we wrap it up?
Let me give me half a second.
All right.
If you can filibuster, I'm just gonna try and find where
I
you said
can't because Steve's like Steven hasn't slept in a few weeks. No. So he's losing his mind right now.
Oh, I got it. I got this.
Okay.
What time is this at?
Oh, my face hurts. Oh my God.
Adam said, have you ever seen A Christmas Story with the
No, he hasn't.
BB gun rifle or whatever? And he says, oh, fudge. And he's like, oh, I didn't say fudge. I said the F word, the big one. And then he'd say the F word. And his mom was like washing his mouth with soap, which was a thing people did. And what was hilarious about it, he's like, I had to tell her that Fuller.
Yo, why do you fucking care? Like, what does it matter?
I'm reading the transcript, Adam. You said Fuller.
Why is there a transcript?
Jesse, please read.
No, this is ridiculous. Why is there a transcript?
No, because you can search transcripts of any of our episodes.
Oh, can you? Okay, I thought somebody had sat there and written it out.
No. I was just searching through the transcript of our episode.
All right.
It was from the thwack episode. Yeah, you definitely said Fuller.
Well, there you go. Yeah. Listen,
it wasn't last episode. It was Friday's episode.
I'm glad that this has become a controversy since Friday. Like, you know what? We're in our Discord. We got shit to talk about. How dare you get a 50-year-old movie character wrong? Also, did you guys know that people were that passionate about A Christmas Story? I thought it was just one of the movies you watched. You did?
I knew that.
Okay. All right.
Tell us about Fuller. What's he like?
Crying.
Tell us about Fuller.
We got the VIP episode to go, so you better save some. Save some energy. We got another episode coming out today. Well, not today. It's coming out tomorrow. Ish.
I'm gonna need something for my headache. Oh my God.
Did you laugh yourself into a headache?
No, but Fuller did.
Oh.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.